Good morning students. In today's class, we will learn about how does a computer work. Okay, I am going to start chapter 2. Chapter 1 we have completed. Those who have not done their work, please complete your work and send it to me for checking. Now open your book, page number 14 and read with me. A computer cannot work on its own because it's a machine. It can work only the user's instructions and orders. We need to enter letters, numbers and instructions into the computer to make it look. These are called data. Okay, whatever we input in the computer, it can be a number, it can be a letter. Whatever we are giving instructions to the computer, it's called data. Different parts of a computer do different tasks. Okay, computer have 4 main parts: monitor, keyboard, CPU, mouse. All the parts have different types of work. A computer works in 3 basic steps. These are input, process and output. I will explain you with example. The computer works in 3 basic steps. Input, just in simple language, it is a pencil. Okay, it is a blunt pencil. We want to sharpen it. So, if blunt pencil as input and sharpening is the process, and after processing we will get output like sharp pencil. Okay, this is the blunt pencil and process after input it comes process, sharpening is the process and then output, and we will get after sharpening process we will get sharp pencil, it's a output. So computer works in 3 basic steps: input, process and output. Okay, there is another example like if we want to wash our clothes, so dirty clothes is input, and when we put dirty clothes in the machine and we will start the machine and process is going. Now washing is the process and clean clothes we will now after that we will get clean clothes, it's a output. Now let's understand these steps by taking an example of our body. When a teacher asks us a question, we hear with our ears and see with our eyes. You can see in the diagram, ears and eyes are the input units. Okay, we hear the sound with our ears and we can see whatever the teacher is writing on the blackboard or whatever pictures she is showing with our eyes. And our brain stores everything that a teacher says. Then it thinks of an answer and order us to speak. Okay, our brain is like a processor. Okay, and in computer, which is the brain of the computer? It's CPU. So all the processing work is doing in the CPU. In this way, the brain works like a processing unit. When we answer with our mouth, it works like an output unit. Okay, understood? And all the basic steps: input, process, then output. For input, we use some input units like keyboard. In the computer there is some input unit like keyboard and mouse, and we have learned with one example of our body part that ear and eyes are input units in our body, and processing unit is the CPU in the computer, and our brain is the processing unit in our body. And our mouth is the output unit in our body, and in the computer the screen monitor is the output unit. Okay children, now next, what is input? Okay, the data and instructions. What is the data and instruction? Any number, any letter, any symbol. It can be a data. Okay, data and instructions that we enter into the computer are called input. Whatever we are giving instructions and order or any syntax for calculation, any digits for calculation, is everything is called a data. We input data with input units, like I have explained you about what are the input units of a computer. Can be keyboard and mouse. So we input data using a keyboard and mouse. Now next, second step is process. Working on data is called processing. After giving data and syntax, the CPU will doing processing. All the data will go into the CPU because it's the brain of the computer. CPU works on data and does all the thinking and calculation. Now next, output. Output means the final result. Okay, when the CPU finishes processing the data, output it display on the monitor. Output unit is monitor, and it can be a printer also. Monitor will show all the data in the screen, and printer will show all the data on paper. We can print our output. Monitor and printer are the most common output devices. Now let us understand the working of a computer with an example. The data instructions together are the input. Okay, input is combination of data and instructions. Here 2 and 5 are the data. Okay children, 2 and 5, this is the digit. You can give any digit. Here 2 and 5 are the data, and plus is the instructions. It means we want to add 2 and 5. It means 2 plus 5 is the input. Then now the CPU will work on the data according to the instructions. Okay, we have given syntax of plus. So CPU will add these two numbers. It is the processing data according to the instructions. If we will give minus here, so the CPU will do subtraction. If we will give multiplication sign, CPU will do multiplication of these two numbers. So whatever the instructions we will give to the computer, only follow that instructions. We will add the numbers 2 and 5. This is the processing. Now 7 is the correct result or output of the sum. This is the output. 7 is the result or output of the input. 2 plus 5 equals to 7. It means inputs are 2, 5 and plus. 2 and 5 are the data and plus is the instructions. What we want to do with 2 and 5? We want to add 2 and 5. This is the input. Now next, what processes 2 plus 5, and we will get the output. Answer is 7. We will get the output 7. So these are the main steps of computer working: input, process, output. It is also called IPO cycle. Okay, it is also called IPO cycle. I for input, P for process, and O for output. Okay children, now we have done page number 14 and 15. Your chapter is completed now. In next class, I will give you some another presentation for explaining all these points. Now you have to watch this presentation carefully again and again and revise all the points, and please read the book daily. And now I will give you some homework.